welcome to ERi-TV English News Broadcast. It's exactly 10:30 p.m. Asmara time, and we're now ready for domestic and international news for June 20th, 2025. Let's first begin with the major headlines. Eritrea's Martyrs' Day commemorated with patriotic zeal. Martyrs' Day commemorated across the country. The Netherlands returns looted artifacts to Nigeria. And Austria moves to tighten gun laws after deadly school shooting. In our domestic news, Eritrea's Martyrs' Day was commemorated with patriotic zeal by nationals both inside the country and abroad. At the commemorative event in Asmara at national level, President Isaias Afwerki laid a wreath in tribute to the heroic martyrs. The event commenced with a walkathon from Martyrs Avenue to the Martyrs Cemetery, accompanied by a marching band. The official ceremony featured cultural and artistic performances highlighting the invaluable sacrifices made by the brave freedom fighters for Eritrea's independence and national sovereignty. The ceremony was attended by senior government and PFDJ officials, army commanders, members of the diplomatic community, and thousands of Asmara residents. Martyrs' Day was also marked on 19 June in Asmara with a candlelight, visual and cultural and artistic performances in memory of those who gave their lives for the country and its people. The commemorative event, which drew thousands of residents, included a candlelight procession and walkathon from Martyrs Avenue to Bahti Maskaram Square. Mr. Fissahaye Haile, governor of the Central Region, emphasized that the sacrifice of Eritrea's heroic martyrs was not only for independence but also for building a developed and self-reliant Eritrea. He noted that 20 June is a day when Eritreans renew their pledge to honor their martyrs' trust and to pass on their shining legacy to future generations. The ceremony at Bahti Maskaram Square was broadcast live by Eritrean television and Radio Dims Hafash. Across the country, Martyrs' Day was observed with candlelight visuals and cultural and artistic programs, underscoring the significance of the occasion. Martyrs' Day was also enthusiastically commemorated nationwide with various events in remembrance of Eritrea's heroes and heroines who paid the ultimate price for independence and national sovereignty. At exactly 1 p.m. today, a minute of silence was observed across the country in memory of the martyrs. In related news, Martyrs' Day was commemorated across the country with patriotic zeal, featuring candlelight visuals and cultural and artistic programs highlighting the significance of the day. In Mendefera, the commemoration on 19 June included a candlelight visual, military parade and cultural performances at Mendefera Martyrs Cemetery. Mr. Habta Abtesfatzion, governor of the region, laid a wreath at the cemetery in honor of the fallen heroes. A similar commemorative event was held in the port city of Massawa with a walkathon and candlelight visual from Sigalet Katsan to the Martyrs Monument on 19 June. At the official ceremony held today, Ms. Asmeret Abraha, governor of the region, laid a wreath at the Hetmilo Martyrs Cemetery. Speaking at the event, Ms. Asmeret underscored the heavy responsibility the day places on the Eritrean people and called for a renewed pledge to contribute actively to national development and the safeguarding of national sovereignty. Government employees in Massawa contributed over 400,000 nafa in support of 67 families of martyrs in the subzones of Ginda, She'eb, Foro and Massawa. Likewise, employees from the regional branch of Immigration and Customs, the Ministries of Health and Labor and Social Welfare, the Microcredit and Savings Program and the Civil Aviation Authority extended support to 13 families of martyrs. The Taxi Owners Association in Massawa also contributed 12,000 nakfa to support 12 families of martyrs. In the Gashbarka region, commemorative events featured public campaigns, support to families of martyrs, and cultural programs reflecting the day's meaning. At the regional event held in Barantu, Ambassador Mahmoud Ali Hurui, governor of the region, and Brigadier General Tsahaya Makonnen, Chief of Staff of the Eastern Command of the Defense Forces, laid wreaths at the Martyrs Cemetery. The ceremony was attended by residents of Barantu and members of the Eritrean Defense Forces. Martyrs' Day was also commemorated in the southern Red Sea region with a candlelight vigil, walkathon, support to families of martyrs, and cultural and artistic performances. Ambassador Mohammed Said Mantai, governor of the region, stated that commemorating Martyrs' Day is not only about honoring the heroes who sacrificed their lives for independence and sovereignty, but also about preserving and passing on their noble values to future generations. The Taxi Owners Association in Asab also extended financial support to 10 families of martyrs. We are live on ERi-TV with English news broadcast. Dear viewers, do stay tuned for the international news after the short break. Welcome back. The Netherlands has returned 119 artifacts looted from Nigeria, including human and animal figures, plaques, royal regalia, and a bell. The artifacts, known as the Benin bronze and mostly housed in a museum in the city of Leiden, were looted in the 19th century by British soldiers. In recent years, museums across Europe and North America have moved to address ownership disputes over artifacts looted during the colonial era. The director of Nigeria's National Commission for Museums and Monuments said the return of 119 artifacts marks the largest single repatriation to date, and that they are working hard to recover more items looted during colonial times. Nigeria formally requested the return of hundreds of objects from museums around the world in 2022. Some 72 objects were returned from a London museum that year, while 31 were returned from a museum in Rhode Island. The Benin bronze were stolen in 1897 when British forces under the command of Sir Henry Rawson sacked the Benin kingdom and forced the monarch at the time into exile. In today's final report, the Austrian government has proposed new laws on private gun ownership 8 days after the deadliest school shooting in the country's history. The measures include raising the minimum age to own firearms, including handguns, to 25 from 21, strengthening the mandatory psychological test that must be passed to buy a gun, and instituting a 4-week waiting period between the purchase and the delivery of a first weapon. The suspect in last Tuesday's shooting, who the police said had been found dead in an apparent suicide, was a 21-year-old former student of the school who had dropped out. 9 students and a teacher died in the attack. The motive is unclear, but police have confirmed the suspect's fascination with past school shootings and his reverence for their perpetrators. Austria has some of the limpest gun ownership laws in Europe. Under current rules, the shotgun the shooter used can be bought by anyone over 18. There are roughly 1.5 million privately owned firearms registered in Austria, a country of just over 9 million. Often used for hunting or sports shooting. This wraps up our news for this session. Dear viewers, let's have a quick recap of the major headlines. Eritrea's Martyrs' Day commemorated with patriotic zeal. Martyrs' Day commemorated across the country. The Netherlands returns looted artifacts to Nigeria, and Austria moves to tighten gun laws after deadly school shooting. With this, we conclude our news for June 20th. Dear viewers, we thank you for joining us on this indeed a momentous day of national pride. Glory shall forever be to our martyrs. Have a good night.